The difference between the dual credit classes is they were more comprehensive, and that we were trying to achieve a goal of us learning the material in depth than just traditional high school where we just go through point A and point B and hope you pass the class.
Because I'm from an early college, the rigor in the dual credit courses were pretty similar to the high school courses, with the exception of a few classes where the teacher really had us doing a lot of work so that we can get the hang of organization and time management.
There was definitely like a difference in standards. When I was a freshman and we started taking dual credit courses, it was actually harder. But as you start getting used to it, it starts preparing you for that mentality. And I honestly think that I was able to benefit from that.
Okay, so the workload was very different. I do remember as soon as I was introduced to these classes, it was sort of a different feel. You know, it wasn't the usual all the kids my age. It was students of all age ranges. And so there was a sense of responsibility, a sense of pride in who I was and what I was doing from the beginning.
I think the dual credit courses that I took in high school, it was a lot of coursework. Compared to high school, I didn't really have a lot of homework. It was just regular in-class work. Here in college, my first semester, I was kind of overwhelmed and I had all this work, but I already knew the rhythm of how I had to like manage my time and manage my work. So that really did help.
The professors in the dual credit courses, they always challenge us to learn and look outside so we can get more experience on the material. They don't do that often in the regular high school classes.
Just the fact that we were given so much freedom. You know, it was up to us to get places on time. We didn't have bells, and that's what it's like in college. So the transition wasn't too big of a jump, and it's helped a lot with being sure of myself and knowing that I am capable of getting good grades and completing my work.
Doing dual credit for me actually required me to do a whole bunch of time management. So I really had to understand, okay, if my instructor's gonna be going over this, I better read a little so that I can get familiar with it. And that's not something that I do during the traditional courses because, you know, they just feed it to you and you just accept it. But during the dual credit ones, it's both guided, but you still have to put in effort yourself. So I learned how to put that effort.
I do remember it was very hard at first, you know, just getting used to the different responsibilities and just the fact that nobody was really after me. You know, I could show up to class, I also couldn't. It was up to me. And so it was a bit of a shock, but because I had that before coming to UTEP, I felt so prepared when I got here. I mean, it wasn't just, you know, a shock. I already felt like I had been here many, many times before.
Early college set up the tone for college work because it's nonstop. It's go from the summer after freshman year to the end of high school, and we start college the end of senior year.
What really makes you feel like you're doing dual credit but college is the setting you're in. So I guess it's the people around you. So just knowing that there's other people going through these dual credit courses, it kind of pushes you forward, and then you're kind of, you know, you want to get that associates. You want to do well in your dual credit courses.
I felt like I wasn't the usual UTEP student, not in a bad way, not because I didn't fit in, but because of the fact that I had all these tools already mastered, or I mean, mostly there. And so getting here and actually, you know, speaking to advisors and speaking to these people, I didn't feel as intimidated. I felt like, you know, I've done this before. I know what it's like to schedule classes. I remember sitting there and I didn't really need the help understanding, okay, how is this going to fit together?
So I think dual credit was actually, it's a really great experience because you're not only learning life skills that you can apply later on, but you're also learning how to interact with people at a different standard than the high school level.
I remember very distinctly coming home and telling my mom, you know what, this is what I want to do. You know, at first I didn't agree with you. I was very scared of this, but I'm glad you pushed me to do this because I know it's going to make a difference.